Welcome back, students. Now I will discuss about the urea cycle. It is a long topic. It will not be covered in only one lecture. I will make 3 consecutive lectures on urea cycle. Now let's discuss the urea cycle. It is the first metabolic cycle discovered by two scientists, Hans Krebs and Hans-Lett. So this urea cycle is also known as Krebs-Hans-Lett cycle, where the urea cycle occurs. This urea cycle occurs in mitochondria and cytosol of hepatocytes. Hepatocytes mean the liver cells. In liver, mitochondria and cytosol, this urea cycle occurs. I have already mentioned all the amino acids, the amine group released as ammonia in the urea cycle, in the liver. This ammonia enters into the urea cycle to form the urea. So the purpose of urea cycle is to formation of urea, which is less toxic to our body and also soluble in water. That's why urea can be excreted through our urine. Now come to the detail of the cycle, urea cycle. You see this box in black color is the mitochondria. It is hepatic mitochondria, and the rest part of my whiteboard, just imagine it is the cytosol. Okay, and this box is the mitochondria, and this is the hepatocyte cell. The whiteboard is hepatocyte cell, remaining white part is the cytosol, and this box is the mitochondria, hepatic mitochondria. Now CO2 is present, CO2 and ammonia in the hepatic mitochondria. Okay, one another thing, in the urea cycle there are 5 enzymes are required, among which the first 2 enzymes are present in hepatic mitochondria and the last 3 enzymes are present in the hepatocyte cell cytosol. So that's why the total cycle is completed in the mitochondria and the cytosol of hepatocytes in both places. Okay, now the first 2 enzymes are present in the mitochondria and the rest 3 in the cytosol. Now come to the cycle. CO2 and ammonia from the different amino acids come through the liver. Now through the amino acid and carbon dioxide transporter, I have not mentioned the transporter, I have not drawn the transporter here, but there is remains a transporter of CO2 and ammonia in the mitochondria. Okay, mitochondrial membrane, so that the ammonia and CO2 can enter into the hepatic mitochondria. Then they joins to form carbamoyl phosphate. You have no requirement of any structure of this. Okay, CO2 and ammonia forms the carbamoyl phosphate by the enzyme CPS1. CPS means carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1. Carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1. Carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1. Now what about carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 2? It is not our discussion topic. CPS2 enzyme is required in the pyrimidine synthesis. I will discuss the CPS1 and CPS2 difference in my next video. Now this enzyme is CPS1. It is ATP dependent enzyme, and very specifically in this reaction 2 ATP are required. 2 ATP. So from 2 ATP there will be production of 2 ADP and 2 PI, but I have written it as 1 PI, that is the 1 inorganic phosphate. Now what about the another inorganic phosphate which is produced here? It will joins with the ultimate compound and forms the carbamoyl phosphate. Here is the phosphate group. Okay, this is the carbamoyl phosphate, and the enzyme is carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1. And for your knowledge, carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1 enzyme step, that is the first enzyme step of the urea cycle, is the rate limiting step of this cycle. Now come to the second step. From carbamoyl phosphate, with the carbamoyl phosphate Ornithine, another amino acid. Ornithine is another amino acid. Now what is ornithine? You need not remember to the structure, but I can mention that you know the lysine structure. In lysine there is the side chain. There is the epsilon amino group is present in lysine. But in ornithine, almost same structure with lysine, there is the delta amino group. That is, in side chain, one CH2 is less. That's why the delta amino group is present in the side chain. Okay. This ornithine joins with the carbamoyl phosphate and forms the citrulline. From where ornithine has come, please don't see this side. I will discuss. Just focus on this mitochondrial side. Okay. Ornithine, another amino acid, comes, binds with the carbamoyl phosphate and forms the citrulline. This citrulline molecule is formed. The enzyme name is OTC. OTC means ornithine transcarbamylase. Ornithine transcarbamylase. Ornithine transcarbamylase. This citrulline comes out of transporter protein through which the ornithine also enters into the mitochondria and the citrulline comes out of the mitochondria to the cytosol. This transporter is named as ornithine ornithine carrier protein. ORC means ornithine carrier protein. Ornithine carrier protein. The citrulline comes into the cytosol. Then aspartate comes. Okay. From where I will discuss later. Aspartate comes. Aspartate joins with the citrulline. Here in this step, ATP is required. ATP hydrolyzed into AMP plus PPI. That is the pyrophosphate. Where the ATP to pyrophosphate is formed, the energy required is equivalent to 2 ATP. Though it is 1 ATP, if it is the ATP to ADP plus PI, then it is the equivalent energy to 1 ATP, but ATP to AMP plus PPI, there is the equivalent energy of 2 ATP. In this step, enzyme is ASS, means argininosuccinate synthetase. Here the argininosuccinate is formed. So the enzyme name is argininosuccinate synthetase. Why synthetase? Why not synthase? Because ATP is required, so synthetase. I am mentioning the name here, that third enzyme argininosuccinate synthetase. Okay. From this argininosuccinate synthetase, it will be formed the argininosuccinate. From argininosuccinate, another enzyme comes, that is ASL, means argininosuccinate lyase. Lyase means to break down it. Lyase. Argininosuccinate lyase. So argininosuccinate will convert it into arginine and fumarate is produced in this step. What will be the fate of fumarate? I will discuss later. This arginine, on the enzyme reaction arginase, by this arginase enzyme, the arginine will form ornithine, and in this step urea is released. So our ultimate goal is reached, that is urea formation from ammonia. Okay. Number 5th is the arginase. I have mentioned the full name here, arginase. Now what about the fumarate? This fumarate can be converted into malate, because you know fumarate can be converted into malate. This malate can enter into the mitochondria, because fumarate has no transporter to the mitochondria, but there is malate transporter in mitochondrial membrane. So fumarate is first converted into malate. This malate will enter into the mitochondria. In mitochondria, malate will convert it into oxaloacetate, because this is a TCA cycle, that is the Krebs cycle step, where malate to oxaloacetate is formed. The TCA cycle is a multi-signal pathway, you know, that is the just like traffic signal, from where you can enter from anywhere, you can exit from anywhere in the TCA cycle. So malate is the molecule of the intermediate molecule of the TCA cycle. So malate will convert it into the subsequent steps, that is oxaloacetate. In the TCA cycle, oxaloacetate, from oxaloacetate to aspartate is also formed. This from malate to oxaloacetate, this oxaloacetate, then it can complete the TCA cycle, and there is another stage of oxaloacetate, it can convert it into aspartate, you know, by the transamination reaction, aspartate transaminase enzyme, oxaloacetate to aspartate, it can be converted into aspartate. This aspartate has again a transporter in the mitochondrial membrane, that's why the aspartate can again come back to the cytosol, and this aspartate joins with the citrulline to form the argininosuccinate by the enzyme argininosuccinate synthetase. So this is our urea cycle. Here it is your highlighted part, that is the 2 ATP is required. Here 1 ATP, but equivalent to 2 ATP because ATP to AMP plus pyrophosphate. Okay. Enzymes are CPS1 carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1, ornithine transcarbamylase. These are the first two enzymes present in the hepatic mitochondria, and the rest three, that is argininosuccinate synthetase, argininosuccinate lyase, and arginase. They are present in hepatic cytosol, hepatocyte cytosol. So this is our urea cycle. I will discuss more about this urea cycle in my next video. Thank you.